I think we are ready to learn the next fundamentals in coding. That is what to do when we have to handle different condition to take an action. Now, what does that mean? So I'm going to start with the game. How many of you played 7 up, 7 down game? I remember as a child, whenever we would have these school fairs or community fairs, there would definitely be a table where there would be some kind of 7 up, 7 down. And if you get lucky 7, you win something. So adopting from there, here's what we're going to do. So we are going to generate a number ranging from 1 to 100. And if the number is 50, we are going to say lucky 50. And if it is less than 50, we will say come up. And if it is greater than 50, we will say come down. So we are going to get back to our PyCharm editor. And we will start coding by first generating a number, which by now we're pretty good at. But really, do we know everything about it? Let's find out. Some of the coders said that they don't see current file at all here. They only see the name of their file. So in that case, in case you're not able to find a new file and you still need to run, or what is the trick to do it? You just click on the file here, right click, and then say run. Yep, that's another way to run it. So if I just run here, a number, and I will call it get lucky. And of course, by now we are absolutely familiar with being able to generate number in whichever range we want. So we are going to generate from 1 to 101. Do you know why 101? Because the function is going to generate numbers excluding the last one. Now, how do we test that? Let's see. Let's generate number between 1 and 2. So if I just run this here, you will see this comes up here and this comes up here. But we can still go back and say, change it to current file. But if you don't see it, yeah, it's all right. You can just run by the name of the file by doing the right click. I want to print it to see what's happening. So I'm going to just keep running this and you will see I only get 1. I never get 2. If I say 3, yeah, I get 1 and 2, but never 3. And that is why to do 1 to 100, I'm going to put 101 there. We are saying if the number is 50, say lucky 50. How will we do that? Yeah, we will get introduced to new keywords to use in our code, which will help us to do condition-based coding. This is popularly known as if-else. If a certain condition is met, some action will happen, else something else will happen. And there can be multiple layers of else. So that is called else if. So how does it work? If, and then you put the condition. So condition is, now there are many new things which we are bringing here. So if condition, get lucky equal to 50. Now when we are comparing something, we use double equal to. Because remember, where do we use single equal to? Where we want to assign a value. So this value gets assigned to this variable get lucky. Now when we want to use it as the operator equal to say if both the numbers are equal, we use double equal to. So get lucky is equal to 50. That's a condition. And now very important, this colon. So you will soon find out as you keep learning newer topics that how fundamental is this colon. It's going to be used many places. If you don't use this colon, you can just check out what kind of error you will get. Now, when we press enter, do you see this indentation? Are you familiar with the word indentation? It's something which we use in English grammar also. It's basically how many spaces to start with. Now, I want you all to listen to this very carefully. What Python did, it went one step ahead and it makes sure, because for all the people, for a whole lot of coders, where readability was never a concern, they would write real poor code. So Python made it compulsory to use indentation. So the moment you start a if condition, you have to put this indentation. Then here what we will say, we will just do our simple print statement. And now we want to put that this is the only thing we want to do here. If we wanted to do a few more things, we will continue. But once we are done, we will go back. That means for this if condition, this structure, this part has to be done. The next thing is else if it is less than 50. So else if, that is written as L if, that's a short form, if. So what is the next condition? Get lucky is less than 50. Now remember, we'll again put the colon, and then when we enter, now we want to put the last, if the number is greater than 50. So here, there is no other condition. So it's the final condition. So we just say else. If we want to be very careful, we can still put elif, but else is also enough here. So we say else, we put a colon. We are ready to test our code. So is that right? 41, come up. Oopsie. You see the oopsie moment? I did a copy paste and I forgot to change from up to down. So even if it is 90, it said come up. Yeah, these are the things which you do when you just copy paste and don't pay attention. So that is come up, come up, come down, come up. So we'll have to check how long it takes for us to really get the exact 50. What will happen if you didn't use indentation? So here, if I just did this, let's check what will happen. We will get an error. Now, I hope by now you have started to understand how the errors get. You know, I've seen a lot of new coders, they just shy away from trying to understand this. It just looks, you know, like Greek and Latin, fair enough. So just simplifying how to read it, it will mention the line. So you just go to the line number. So it says line 18. Then it says indentation error, expected an indented block. I mean, how clear is that? It's just that you have to pay attention and read. So it's literally telling you that there is an indentation problem. So you come here, you give it the right indentation, and you run it. There you go. Summarizing, so we have learned some very important things. If-else condition and indentation in Python. Remember, it is not optional. Do code yourself, try it out, try different indentations, make mistakes, run it. And yes, why don't you think of a few more programs based on some of the games you played or some of the math puzzles you do, and just try them out. There's this very popular set of guiding principles been written, they're called aphorisms. 19 of them have been written down. This is by a long time Pythonier. Yeah, that's the word, long time Pythonier. And one of them is readability counts. And this is where all the indentation comes in. So there's actually a whole style guide which talks about how to do the code layout. So if you look at indentation, it talks about indentation, and interestingly, whether to use tabs or spaces, there's a mention. Spaces are the preferred indentation method. Tabs should only be used to remain consistent with code that is already indented with tabs. Hope you're enjoying all these idiosyncrasies of a programming language. Bye-bye.